And we realized that in our manufacturing businesses, we had a lot of people who had spent their time actually going from manual processes to an email again, using it in a certain way, and then we trying to tell them to do something differently. So what worked very well for us was that one is that we created this awareness as well as acceptance at the top. And top means right up to the chairman's level, and they were the ones who said, yes, this is the way we want to go. Second, what we did was that we carried out extensive training sessions across every employee. And mind you, this happened completely in the digital way, that we actually enabled them, and then we actually trained them over Google Meet on all the various aspects of Google Workspace. And these training sessions or classes, I think we did around 3 hours plus 3 hours, at least 6 hours of training per employee. And then we set up a central help desk for people to be available if somebody gets stuck. And then we also created, using Google Sites, we also created training material portals for people to refer to online if they can actually do a self-service training also at their end. So all these things combined together has helped us very well. Today, I think the adoption that we have is absolutely fantastic. So Gmail is always 100%. Even on Google Sheets and Docs, where people still had a office hangover, now we have started touching around 67-68% on that. The usage of Google Meet, number of calls with 100+ participants, and the mobility extension, where using MDM we are able to extend the Google Workspace onto the separate portion of the mobiles, especially on the Android side. And that's also worked very well for people, because prior people had no access to their work documents and their workspace outside of their physical office spaces. Decided to go with Google Workspace because even before I joined here, we have spent time across so many organizations and stacks that we have used for collaboration before. Somewhere I was forming an opinion in my head that now a time has come, and I was watching Google Workspace for quite some many years. And I felt in 2019 that maybe now it is an enterprise ready product. And the experience that we have as a cloud native product is definitely much superior than something that we were using before. So we kind of tried it out at Arca FinCap. Again, whatever we thought was right worked for us. And then what happened, what is the joke that goes around saying, what pushed your digital strategy forward, the pandemic, is when the lockdowns happened and the first set of board meetings had to happen across all. Arca was fully functional, whereas all the manufacturing businesses which had to actually go to a physical boardroom and actually carry out these meetings, they were all facing an issue on that. And that's where they finally agreed, saying that it's time now that you help us actually migrate everybody to Google Workspace. First is the base that it's a browser-based system. You don't need any client to be installed. And it integrates well within the Microsoft Word of the PCs, wherein the drive actually comes in as another drive icon or a folder there. So the browser interface really kind of makes it light, and it makes it that you don't have any dependencies to update any clients. Second is I think the biggest usage that happens is Drive, Gmail, and Meet. And in all of that, I think Drive is something that again is something that we've used extensively to share documents, team drives, then to put security on how this information gets shared, the extension of that documents to the mobile devices of employees, still keeping the MDM controls on. That's again been used extensively. And Gmail as a single cockpit, where on the single screen you get your calendar, you get your tasks, you get your Gmail, and you can have your contacts and everything in one place.